Look at Britain on a map today. It's a relatively small island sitting off the coast of Europe. Nothing about it suggests global dominance. And yet, at its peak, this tiny nation controlled nearly 1/4 of the Earth's land surface, an empire so vast that the sun literally never set on it. But here's the strange part. The British Empire wasn't built by constant success. It was built by failure. Again and again, Britain suffered disasters that should have destroyed its ambitions forever. Instead, every setback somehow made it stronger. This is the story of how one nation mastered the art of turning failure into power. Most people imagine empires being built through military genius, powerful kings, or overwhelming strength. The British story is different. Because if you traveled back to the 1500s, England looked nothing like a future superpower.
It wasn't the richest country in Europe. It wasn't the strongest. It wasn't even particularly stable. In fact, England spent much of its time struggling with problems much closer to home. Its northern border remained insecure. Scotland was independent. Wars were frequent. Political tensions were constant. No one looked at England and thought, that's the country that will dominate the world. If anything, the opposite seemed more likely. And when England finally tried to expand overseas, the results were embarrassing. One of its first major colonial ventures was the settlement at Roanoke Island in North America. The colony simply disappeared. Men, women, children, gone. No battle, no survivors, no clear explanation. Imagine being an English investor hearing that news. Your first major colonial experiment had literally vanished. Not exactly a confidence boost. And yet, hidden inside that failure was the seed of something revolutionary. Because England realized something important. Maybe the government shouldn't be paying for empire. Maybe somebody else should. That idea would change world history. In 1600, the English crown approved an organization that looked harmless on paper, the East India Company. At first glance, it was just a trading company. But in reality, it was something far more powerful. Instead of the government funding expensive colonial projects, private investors would take the risk. Thousands of people pooled money together. Profits were shared. Losses were spread out. The government gained influence without paying the full cost. It was one of the most important financial innovations in human history. And it worked. The company grew, ships multiplied, trade expanded. Money flowed back into England. Soon, the East India Company wasn't acting like a business anymore. It was acting like a country. It maintained armies, negotiated treaties, collected taxes, fought wars. At times, its private military force was larger than many national armies. England had discovered something extraordinary. It could expand globally while shifting much of the financial risk onto investors. The empire was no longer limited by government resources, and that changed everything. But Britain's next opportunity would come from somebody else's disaster: Scotland.